you've probably heard at least bits and pieces about the controversy surrounding Universal Ostrich Farm located in Edgewood, British Columbia, where some 400 ostriches are under a cull order from the Canadian Food Inspection Agency because they had avian flu. But the farm owners, Karen Esperson and Dave Belinsky, say their birds now have herd immunity, are healthy, and they are fighting to save their beloved birds. And they also believe that instead of killing them, the birds should be kept to do research on to develop a vaccine. But they are running out of time. So joining us from Edgewood is Karen's daughter and the farm's spokesperson, Katie Pasitney. Katie, welcome to Bridge City News. Great to have you on today.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be here and to be able to discuss this really big
Yes.
situation.
Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing your story. So you grew up with these birds, Katie, which probably means that you feel like they're members of your family. Tell us a bit
Yeah.
about how this ordeal is impacting you and your parents.
Yeah. We have been, they've watched me grow up. I've watched them grow up, and I've been involved in the farm my whole life. So these ostriches are resilient. They are beacons of hope for many Canadians that there is a better way than stamping out and eradicating our farms. They have names, they have personalities, and they have been loved by our family for 35 years. Our oldest ostrich here is 35, and a lot of them are in their 20s. And they are the most amazing animals. Yeah.
So you really did grow up with them, literally. What is the lifespan, I guess, of an ostrich?
An ostrich can live up to 70 years old.
Wow.
And yeah, and so that's what we're fighting for, is that these animals that have been healthy today for 225 days, they have decades more to live. And that's what we're trying to fight for. That they are way more have offer way more opportunity alive than they do slaughtered. So we're still fighting to test them and to prove their health, and so it's been a big journey.
Yeah, I bet it has been. So we've heard that these birds are actually being used in research for immune systems, and you've been working with a Japanese university.
Yeah, we have a partner out of Kyoto, Japan, Dr. Tsukamoto, who's very well known for his research in antibody development with ostriches. He has 36 plus worldwide patents on ostrich, and these big prehistoric animals have survived millions of years because of their robust natural immune system.
Mm.
So we are really promoting a better way than the reliance on vaccinations. And if we could offer a therapeutic or solution to that,
Mhm.
we are a living vault of immunity, and we are a renewable source of antibodies. And that can really change how we treat viruses and disease in the future. And I think it's something that is being completely overlooked by our Canadian government, and it's garnered the attention of international support.
My goodness. For viewers who maybe aren't familiar with your story, can you explain how this all began back in, was it December of last year when some of your birds started getting sick?
It was. So back in December, we had symptoms on our farm, but these symptoms presented themselves. We had the same symptoms back in 2020. And in 2020, our vet came and we did a gold standard sample, tissue sample, that came back positive for Pseudomonas bacteria. At that time, we just did our proper protocols, and we lost about 10 ostriches in 2020. And then we had our herd immunity. Whatever had come through, we cleaned, we did our protocols, everything was okay. And in 2024, we noticed the same symptoms, called our vet, did our due diligence. Again, we were just thinking it was Pseudomonas bacteria, which is not a reportable virus or bacteria to Canadian Food Inspection Agency. And then when we were waiting for a vet to get a hold of us, and because it was through the holidays, Canadian Food Inspection Agency called us and said they had an anonymous tip called into them that they were sure we had avian influenza. That was very alarming to us because no ostriches have been diagnosed with H5N1 in Canada. And so it was not on our radar at all. We explained to the Canadian Food Inspection Agency that we had these same symptoms back in 2020, and we did lose some, but then everybody had immunity to whatever had been on our farm. And we also told them that more than three quarters of our farm had no symptoms and was absolutely healthy was only a group of ostriches that have been here since 2020 after. Uh, and they said that they didn't think that it was H5N1 because in a commercial poultry situation there'd be 40 to 50,000 chickens dead overnight in enclosed barns. We were seeing that we had deaths, but we also were having ostriches recover. So that is something new. We are now a recovered herd, 225 days on our farm. And we are still fighting, though, to be able to have these animals tested to prove their overall health and well being without being threatened 6 months in jail.
So my understanding is the Canadian Food Inspection Agency based their call order on 2 PCR tests, which we've discovered during COVID didn't always have that track record of being particularly reliable. So you believe the birds do have this herd immunity at this point, and you asked CFIA to allow you to get tissue samples from the birds tested by a vet. So what was their response?
When we asked for, we were shocked. So I'm really glad you brought that up about the PCR testing. We were shocked when they came out and they pulled out PCR tests to do the testing on our deceased animals. At the same time, we asked them if we could test the healthy animals, and they said no. And then we asked them if we could test the recovered animals, and they said no. And so again, that was a bit alarming when we wanted to do our own independent testing to say, well, we can do it then, and we'll show you the results that they are healthy animals. We got threatened by their policy that we will receive 6 months in jail and or a $200,000 fine per animal that we test to prove their overall health.
What reason did they give as to why it would be unacceptable to do further, more precise testing on these ostriches?
It's part of their policy, and that's what we're really trying to bring attention to is not a lot of farmers have that time or resources to really start to dig into in depth their policy when it's brought to their door. And so we did take the time and we learned about why we're being restricted, and it's just a section in their policy that states you cannot test or treat anything or animal on your property during quarantine. So we've even had top vets and people offering that they can do on-site testing. So these results aren't even leaving our farm, that those tests can be done on-site. Everything is it's professional. It's done as though they would do it. We're still being met with that resistance. But what we have learned, it's more about the World Animal Health Organization policies and our relationships. And it's to do with our trading partner policies. And then I don't think they ever expected that we would get one of our largest trading partners actually offering them to collaborate. So
Wow. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out how this could possibly affect anyone negatively if you're willing to do your own tissue samples and everything. Why does the government think also that avian flu is going to be spread by flightless birds who are in strict quarantine?
you are very refreshing. It is so nice to hear somebody that really understands. As long as there's migratory birds, there's going to be avian influenza. So why are we going to go and kill flightless birds that are in a pen? We're 135 kilometers away from any major city. We pose no risk. We can't test them. We can't do anything with them. So they're not even giving us that option. But when we have migratory birds that are flying all over Canada right now, and we had our beaches open, we had our lakes open all summer, where all these migratory birds love to swim and poop and everything.
Do what
And
birds do.
I know, and here we are
Yeah.
quarantined and have flightless birds that are posing no risk by them being where they are. Um, and so it's really refreshing that you bring it up because I did ask one of the vets, I said, what are we doing about our wild birds?
Hmm.
And they said,
Hmm.
well, that's wildlife. What are you going to do? Kill all the wildlife? That's crazy. And
Hmm.
I don't want to kill all the
Of
wildlife,
course not. Yeah.
but let's not kill all of our livestock
Right.
and put our farmers at risk of losing everything and their livelihoods.
Yeah.
If there is a better way than stamping out which is stamping out natural immunity in the end. Let's collaborate. Let's sit down and talk about the options and try to protect our farmers and better the collaboration and relationship between the organization like Canadian Food Inspection Agency and all of our agricultural sector.
Katie, your story got international attention and offers of help from even some famous people, including Dr. Oz, and some legal help too. So, which early on, did you get a temporary injunction from a federal judge? I believe that helps, right?
It did. We had one prior. Right now, we're sitting with an open kill order on our animals because we lost our federal court of appeal. So we are seeking an emergency stay order right now while we explore other legal avenues. But we have garnered that attention and that support, bridging our countries, and again, Dr. Oz, RFK, John Catsimatidis out of New York, Andy Sabin. We've been really grateful to have these people that have identified that there's opportunity here to slow down and let's look at how this recovered herd of ostriches could benefit uh, science, benefit human health, benefit animal health, offer an alternative to big pharma's monopoly, and offering therapeutic solutions that could help your children, your children's grandchildren, and for years to come, as well as protect our agricultural sector and the animals that are we're killing without testing. So Canadian Food Inspection Agency can also come on our properties and kill all of our animals based off suspicion. So that had raised a lot of alarm with RFK. If we're eradicating everything, um, how are we could be losing so much opportunity
Yeah.
in different
So
areas.
you're saying that the feds could show up and on your farm, come onto your property and literally kill 400 birds?
Yeah, they
Would
can
they?
come.
They would need a warrant, I would imagine. They wouldn't?
No, no,
Okay.
they have the total ability right now to come and kill at any time if they
Oh
want.
my goodness.
And but that is what I think as we're educating about the policy, people are just becoming aware how dangerous this policy is if it's left unchecked. And we're just asking for a reform on the policy to work, be part of, sit at the table with them and make a better policy that's going to protect our farmers. If you have that much power that you can go on someone's farm based off suspicion and kill every animal that they have, cows, chickens, ducks, dogs, cats, everything can get killed. It's a scary place for people to
Where does
sit.
it stop? Yeah. Are you literally out of legal options at this point?
We are seeking Supreme Court. And also, we're just really hoping that we can come to common ground and some common sense together and possibly still have that opportunity to collaborate with the FDA and the NIH with Dr. Oz's expertise and RFK's expertise, and that we can actually, you know, work together and come up with a solution here that could benefit humanity. We really do have the opportunity here to do something great for Canada and on a global scale, bringing science and innovation to the forefront and using antibodies, which we use in chicken from chickens all the time. But ostriches have just very, very big, robust antibodies because they're a prehistoric animal that has survived millions of years. But we don't know if they're going to survive the Canadian Food Inspection Agency.
Right. Oh my gosh. And if that did happen, if they didn't survive and the Canadian Food Inspection Agency came onto your farm, what kind of message does this send to the small family farmers and also to average Canadians?
If this was allowed to happen, it's that your livelihoods, your property rights, and your your animals can be taken away with little recourse, and that our we really it is a scary place to
Yeah,
be in.
it's not a good
I mean,
place to be when
losing our rights.
your property rights and your rights as farmers to farm, it could be taken away from you. Katie, thanks so much for your time. I appreciate having you on today to share your story.
I appreciate you. Thank you very much for the awareness and attention to what's happening here in Edgewood.
We wish you and your ostriches rather, all the best in this situation, Katie.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Katie Pasitney is the media spokesperson with the Universal Ostrich Farm in Edgewood, British Columbia.